Hello and welcome back to the chaos that is Shani and books. Today I am going to be going through more 2025 book releases that I am excited for. I created a giant list of books that I was excited for, and when I reviewed the list there was like 100 books. So I'm splitting this into multiple parts. I did the same thing last year. So the first video was all of the books in January, and now I am going through February and into March in this video because yeah, it just seems right to go chronologically. So starting off, we've got a range of genres here today. This one is a lesbian romance. What a surprise from me. This is called The Great Orchid Heist by Eleanor Vendrell. When Phil joins Felborough Botanic Gardens as a volunteer in order to steal the rare, splendid paradise orchid, she doesn't bank on falling in love with the hot head gardener's assistant, Lily. Okay, so one character is attempting to do a heist and ends up falling in love, which is interesting. Next up, I feel like everyone's already heard of this anyway, but this is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. Oh, I forgot to say the date of the last one. This is the 4th of Feb. The other one was the 3rd of Feb. Okay, so this one is a romance. Surprise, surprise. A competitive diver and an ace swimmer jump into forbidden waters in this steamy college romance. College romance, not my favorite, but a sports romance between swimmers I feel like could be fun. And I'm excited to read more from Ali Hazelwood just to see how I go. Next up, I have some horror. I feel like this particular list has a lot of horror. Oh, this one says 30th of January. I must have got my list out of order. Look guys, I'm doing the best I can. This is The Lamb by Lucy Rose. A sinister folktale set in contemporary Cumbria for fans of a bunch of people, but Julia Armfield is listed in it, which love that. A folktale, a horror story, a love story, an enchantment. Margot and Mama have lived by the forest since Margot can remember. When Margot is not at school, they spend quiet days together in their cottage, waiting for strangers to knock on their door. Strays, Mama calls them. Mama loves the strays. She feeds them wine, keeps them warm, then she satisfies her burning appetite by picking apart their bodies. Interesting. A gothic coming-of-age tale. Explores how women swallow their anger, desire, and animal instincts, and rings the relationship between mother and daughter until blood drips from it. That one sounds really interesting. Next up, this says 6th of February, and this has no cover. I don't even remember where I got this one from, because it also says fantasy. A standalone following a disgraced bookseller who is offered the chance to restore a magical bookshop to its former glory. Okay, that's obviously why I added it. Enters a dark underworld of unscrupulous collectors, deadly ink magic, and shady societies. I love books about books, but I might need to see reviews on this one, but this one might be for a lot of you watching maybe. This one says 6th of February. This Immaculate Body, which also down here says Creep, a love story, is a different edition, so I'm not sure. Alice has been cleaning Tom's flat every Wednesday for a year, with every smudge wiped from his coffee cup, every multivitamin counted from the jar, every crease smoothed out in his bed. Alice spirals deeper into infatuation. But as Alice prepares for the moment when they will finally meet face to face, she discovers that love might not be the cure she thought it was. Told through the eyes of an obsessive protagonist. A literary study of unreliability and unlikability. This one sounds really interesting. I'm going to say that for all of them. They all sound interesting. I have Hope Street by Mike Gale. 6th of Feb again. A trainee journalist is used to being given the stories that no one else wants. So when her editor tells her that the city's Cossington Park development is being held up by a solitary resident on Hope Street who is refusing to leave, she knows she's going to be the one sent to find out more, and that's how she meets Connor. Connor is the sole resident of Hope Street, and he is not at all what Lila is expecting. He has a very clear reason not to move. He's waiting for his mum to come home. This one is by Libba Bray, Under the Same Stars, 4th of Feb. Okay, I'm definitely not got this in order. Historical fiction, but I do like Libba Bray. I've liked things by her before. So it looks like we have 3 timelines. 1940s Germany, 1980s West Germany, and spring 2020 in New York City. I don't know that I love books set at war, so I don't know, but I do like Libba Bray. This one has a fun title, Life Hacks for a Little Alien by Alice Franklin. For readers of Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine and Remarkably Bright Creatures, a tender and funny debut novel about one little girl's obsession with a mysterious manuscript, is a love letter to language, how it shapes the world for each of us and connects us all in the end. Climb up here, little alien, sit next to me. I will tell you about life on this planet. I will tell you how it goes, is the little quote that's here. Before she thinks of herself as little alien, our narrator is only a lonely little girl living in southeast England who doesn't understand the world the way other children seem to. So when a late night TV special introduces her to the mysterious something manuscript, an ancient tome written in an indecipherable language, little alien experiences something she hasn't hope. I don't know if there's meant to be like a comma there, or could there be others like her who feel like they're from another planet? I like this one. Is Kingdom of No Tomorrow by Fabienne Josephat. This one's historical fiction, which does scare me sometimes, but set in 1968, a young Haitian student in Oakland gets caught up in an ongoing revolutionary fever. With her friend, she uses her public health skills to help operate a free health clinic created by the people she believes are true revolutionaries, the Black Panthers. She falls in love with Black Panther Party defense captain. Interesting. I maybe will wait for reviews to see how heavy of a historical we have here, but it does sound interesting. I need to stop saying sounds interesting. This one is a horror, Hunger Stone by Kat Dunn. It's also tagged as vampires, gothic, and lesbian. So, need I say more? A compulsive feminist reworking of Camilla, the book that inspired a captivating story of appetite and desire. Really interested in that one. Next up, we have another book by Kimberly Lemming. It's called I Got Abducted by Aliens and Now I'm Trapped in a Rom-Com. This is in a different series to the one that she currently has out. The paranormal romance thing that she has going. I would be interested to read more from this author. A hilarious and sexy romance about a woman who gets dropped on a strange planet only to fall for not one but two aliens, from the author of the first book in the series is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. So she's close to getting her PhD in wildlife biology when she's attacked by a lion. This just sounds like crazy and I love it. Dory and her new lion bestie, Toto, are saved in the nick of time. Is this a Wizard of Oz retelling? Dory and Toto? In the nick of time by a mysterious and sexy alien. I feel like her books are really fun. The cover is fun. There's literally a dinosaur on the cover. I'm really excited about this one. This one is a horror novella, but not too bold. The Shape of Water meets Mexican Gothic in this sapphic monster romance novella wrapped in Gothic fantasy trappings. The old keeper of the keys is dead, and the creature who ate her is the volatile Lady of Capricus House, Anathema, an enormous humanoid spider with a taste for, oh my god, human brides. Is there a spider character? A giant spider character? Oh my god, this sounds really interesting. We're following a humanoid spider. And it's a novella, so it's nice and short. Next up, this one is a mystery, Notes on Surviving the Fire by Christine Murphy. And Sarah's only friend in her graduate program is found dead. Also, I forgot to say dates. This is 25th of February. We're still in February. Okay, her friend is found dead of an alleged heroin overdose. She's forced back into the orbit of the man in their department who assaulted her. A hurtling ride of a novel, darkly funny and propulsive. Notes on Surviving the Fire is a story about vengeance, the insidious nature of rape culture, and ultimately a woman's journey to come back to herself. This one is the 25th of Feb still. Fundamentally, a wickedly funny and audacious debut following an academic who flees from heartbreak and lands in Iraq with an insane job offer, only to be forced to do the work of confronting herself. This one seems like it's going to be heavy. It's also tagged as LGBT. I don't know, I feel like this is one that I would probably wait to see reviews on just to see how heavy it is. This one, I feel like the date's changed because I had it as a different date and now it says 1st of January. But anyway, Green Teeth by Molly O'Neill. Fantasy, adult, fiction, cozy mystery are the tags. Beneath the still surface of a lake lurks a monster with needle-sharp teeth, hungry and ready to pounce. Jenny Greenteeth has never spoken to a human before, but when a witch is thrown into her lake, something makes Jenny decide she's worth saving. Temperance doesn't know why her village has suddenly turned against her, only that it has. Something to do with the malevolent new pastor. Though they have nothing in common, these two must band together on a magical quest to defeat the evil that threatens Jenny's lake and Temperance's family, as well as the very soul of Britain. This one is 27th of February, Hermit by Chris McQueer. A darkly funny moving debut novel. He's dropping out of school 3 years ago with no qualifications, no pals, and no ambition. He spends most of his days asleep and most of his night, can I say that word on the internet? I'm not going to say it. Playing video games with his online friend Lee and occasionally making the journey downstairs to the kitchen for a microwave burger. He hasn't left the house in months and now he's not sure he can. And then Fiona is trying her best, but since finding the courage to kick out her abusive husband, her confidence has never recovered. She goes to work every day, but otherwise she's not that different from her son. Withdrawn from life, without friends, she knows their lives can't carry on like this, but she's at a loss to how to change things. She tries to get Jamie to apply for a job. He sees her as the cause of all his problems. Then Lee tells Jamie he's realised there's a name for what they are, incels, and that there's a guy he's met through the forums that they can go stay with in London to get away from their nagging mums. But running away from his problems at home, Jamie may actually run towards something much worse. Okay, this one actually kind of scares me. This one is tagged as Fiction and Mystery. That'll Teach Her by Maz Evans. 27th of February, it says. The headmistress is dead. The circumstances are suspicious. And as every parent knows, being on the school group chat can be murder. As educators go, Claudia Stitchwell makes Miss Hannigan look like Miss Honey. But when the head teacher then drops dead in the school hall, and a group of skeptical parents suspect the nut allergy explanation doesn't add up. They believe someone wanted to teach Miss Stitchwell a lesson. Piecing together evidence from the daily drama and drudgery of the parents' group chat, local press, police reports, schools' newsletters, and good old-fashioned gossip, the determined detective parents are doing their homework to crack the case. That one sounds like something I would like. This one is The River Has Roots. 4th of March. Okay, we're in March now. It's a fantasy novella. Two sisters who cannot be separated even in death. The mysterious Hawthorne family. Okay. They tend and harvest the enchanted willows and honor an ancient compact to sing to them in thanks for their magic. None more devotedly than the family's latest daughters, Essa and Isabel, who cherish each other as much as they cherish the ancient trees. But when Essa rejects a forceful suitor in favor of a lover from the land of fairy, not only the sisters' bonds, but also their lives will be at risk. Oh, it's also tagged as queer. This one is from an author I've read from before, Charlotte McConaughey, who I believe is Australian as well. Wild Dark Shore, 4th of March. Tagged as fiction, mystery, thriller. A family on a remote island, a mystery woman washed ashore, a rising storm on the horizon. Dominic Salt and his 3 children are the caretakers of Shearwater, a tiny island not far from Antarctica, home to the world's largest seed bank. It was once full of researchers, but the sea levels are rising and the Salts are now the final inhabitants, packing up the seeds before they are transported to safer ground. Despite the wild beauty of life here, isolation has taken its toll on the Salts. Okay, so one is 18, suffering his first heartbreak, can only find relief in his punching bag. One is 17, has started spending her nights on the beach among the seals. 9-year-old is obsessed with botany, fears the loss of his beloved natural world, and Dominic can't stop turning back towards the past, a loss that drove the family to the Shearwater in the first place. During the worst storm the island has ever seen, a woman washes ashore. As the Salts nurse the woman, Rowan, back to life, their suspicion gives way to affection, and they finally begin to feel like a family again. This one is a young adult, but it's a horror and also queer. They Bloom at Night, expected the 4th of March. A devastating hurricane, mutated wildlife lurks in the water that rises by the day. Mercy has always been a place where monsters walk in plain sight, especially at its heart, the Cove, where Noon's wife was upended long before the storm at a party her older boyfriend insisted on. Now Noon is navigating the submerged town with her mum. Okay, wait, is this set underwater? Or did I read that wrong? Now Noon is stuck navigating the submerged town with her mum, who believes their dead family has reincarnated as sea creatures. Alone with the pain of what happened that night at the Cove, Noon buries the truth. She is not the right shape. The cover of this one kind of scares me though. This one is a fantasy romance that is also queer. It's also tagged as cozy mystery and lesbian. A delightful queer romance fantasy full of friends to lovers chemistry, found family, rival family drama, and cozy garden magic from 2 acclaimed YA authors. Oh, it's 2 people making their debut in the adult space. Okay, so one is from a wealthy family. Fingers in every pie in the realm. They flee their own graduation party, galloping away in search of, well, they're not sure, but maybe the chance to feel like life can still be a grand adventure. And then another character, talented plant witch, tea lover, and greenhouse owner, has never felt further from adventure in her life. She's been desperately trying to keep what remains of her family's magic remedies business afloat. So when her childhood friend and former crush rides back into her life, she's shocked. But perhaps this could be a good thing. After all, she could use an assistant. Okay, this sounds fun and cute and I like the cover. A Manor of Dreams by Christina Lee, 6th of May. Horror, gothic, mystery, adult, it says. Mexican Gothic meets Everything I Never Told You in Christina Lee's haunting novel about the secrets that lie in wait in the crumbling mansion of a former Hollywood starlet and the intertwined fates of the 2 Chinese-American families fighting to inherit it. Vivian Yin is dead, the first Chinese actress to win an Oscar, rose to fame in the 80s, only to disappear from the spotlight. Now her remaining family members are gathered for the reading of her will, and her daughters expect to inherit inherit their childhood of the garden estate, but due to a last-minute change to the will, the house is passed down to another family instead, one that has suddenly returned after decades of estrangement. Told in dual timelines, spanning 3 generations and brimming with romance, betrayal, ambition, and sacrifice, A Manor of Dreams is a thrilling family gothic that examines the true cost of the American dream and what happens when the roots we set down in this country turn to rot. I have Stag Dance, which is by Tori Peters. Short stories, this one is. In this collection of 1 novel and 3 novellas, the best-selling author of Detransition Baby pushes trans genre to its limits and explores who gets included and excluded from the possibilities of gender. Okay, so Stag Dance is like the novel, and then there is 3 novellas that surround it. So Stag Dance is following a lumberjack working an illegal winter logging outfit, recounts how the lonely woodsmen entertain themselves with a dance at which some of the loggers must volunteer to attend as women. Obsession, repressed desires, and betrayal lead to the big night as the lumberjack grows increasingly jealous of Lizen, the prettiest young man in camp, weaving a surreal tall tale that questions the nature of transition. And then 3 novellas, a sci-fi future which everyone must choose their own gender. And then The Chaser, a secret romance between roommates at a Quaker boarding school, brings out intrigue and cruelty. And then the last novella is a party weekend on the Las Vegas Strip that turns horrific when a young cross-dresser must choose between 2 handsome mystery men who objectifies her in thrilling ways, or a cynical veteran trans woman offering unglamorous sisterhood. This one sounds really, really good. Next I have this one, which I don't know why the cover's not up here, but anyway, here's the cover. 13th of March, The Tiger's Share. The fiercest wars are fought between siblings. Okay, so Tara, who is a lawyer, is everything her younger brother isn't. Dedicated, independent, thriving. When her beloved father retires, he summons them to a meeting, but what he has to say threatens to tear the family apart. The Tiger's Share is both a family and a state of the nation novel, unlike anything else in this contemporary Indian fiction. Switching gears, we have a paranormal romance. This one is Fan Service by Rosie Danan. The truth is stranger than fan fiction in this next sexy paranormal rom-com from the beloved author of The Roommate. The only place small-town outcast Alex Lawson fits is the online fan forum she built for the Arcane Files, a long-running werewolf detective show. Her dedication to archiving fictional supernatural lore made her internet famous, even if she harbors a secret disdain for the show's star. Ever since the show went off air, his career has spiraled, but waking up naked in the woods outside his LA home with no memory of the night before is a new low. It must have been a coincidence that the once-in-a-century wolf blood moon crested last night. The claws, fangs, and howling are a little more difficult to explain away. Desperate for answers, Devon finds Alex, the closest thing to an expert that exists. If only he could convince her to stop hating his guts long enough to help. So it's a werewolf romance. I'm excited for this one. Lastly, for this video, we have magical realism, a book called The Anatomy of Magic, expected the 11th of March. A young woman learns to embrace all the messy imperfections of life and love with some help from her magical family. Right, so she seemingly has it all. An OB/GYN star on the rise, a master at balancing work with whirlwind romance, and part of a family of fiercely loyal and exceptional women, all bound together by an extraordinary secret. The Estrada women each possess a unique power, and Lily shines with her rare gift to manipulate memories. That's an interesting one. Yet not even her mystical abilities can shield her from a harrowing event at the hospital, one that sends her powers and her confidence spiraling out of control. Oh, she retreats to her family's ancestral home in Mexico, only to find herself face to face with the ghost from her past. Right, fun. I think those are all the books that I wanted to go through today. I think that was around 25, and then I have a couple more videos to go with the remainder of my books I'm excited for. Thank you if you made it this far. Let me know what you're excited for 2025, and I'll see you for the next installment of books I'm excited to read.